Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. It's time for me to tell you what I sold this week again. And as usual, I'm going to start off with my Whatnot show because I just ended it a little while ago. And then I'll tell you about all the other stuff I sold on the other platforms. If you are new to my channel, hi, that was Rizzo. Hi, welcome. My name is Laura. I sell women's vintage clothing online on sites like Etsy and eBay, Depop and Poshmark, sometimes Whatnot, which is an online auction platform. And every week I come to you to share my hauls, tell you what I sold, and sometimes talk about other reseller and vintage related things. Anyway, today I finally had my sweater show. I am sure that you will all be very relieved that that shit's over, right? I did pretty well with everything. I sold a total of 34 items. Yay. They are going to 14 different people, 5 of whom are first-time buyers. The total sales were $557. I do have $20 in shipping fees today. So if you're not familiar, Whatnot, like you can, as a buyer, you pay up to $9.21 for up to 5 pounds worth of stuff. And then beyond that, you know, it can go up. But I always cover anything beyond the $9.21, which most of the time I don't end up having additional charges. I did expect to have additional shipping today because they're fucking sweaters, right? So I spent $20.61 in shipping. So after fees and shipping, I should make $461.47, which is not bad, especially when all of these beauties are leaving my house as well. I was really like, I don't even want to say hoping. Rizzo is being extra nuts right now. I think I was like fantasizing that I'd sell like 50, 75 sweaters. Like, would I have loved to do that? Obviously. But I'm very glad that I sold 34. That's a really great show for me. So let's get into it so that I can get these things wrapped up and shipped out. Get out of my house. Okay. Very excited about today's show. So number 1, I have a repeat buyer who purchased 2 items. The first item that she purchased is this sweater. This is technically a men's sweater, but we don't care. It's like a cotton sweater. Let's see. There's that. Now, some of these sweaters I've been collecting for months and months. Some of them I had in Whatnot shows in like the late winter, early spring. Others I've purchased and then just had sitting on the sidelines. And I saved them all up for a sweater show. It was well worth it. I did a lot of preparation in advance, but which was also nice, but it also kind of felt like my entire life was revolving around these Whatnot shows for the past like month. And, but you know, it's so much fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. So let's see, we got this first sweater, got that one all rolled up. And then the second item that this buyer purchased was this Alfred Dunner, okay, which is very cute. You've got these little beaded reindeer on here. Alfred Dunner. And this one sold, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you, the men's sweater sold for 15, Alfred Dunner sold for 10. So those were both what I started the bidding at. And for the rest of this video, if I don't specify that the price got bid up at all, then what I sold it for is what I started the bidding at. Sorry, I'm just looking. I've got like a little, what am I doing? Oh my goodness, come here. There we go. Okay. Get Alfred all folded up pretty. So it'll be interesting to see what shipping is going to be like on these guys as far as like the size of the boxes and everything. I've got my extra large bags over here, which I feel like I'll mostly be using the super large ones today. I have a few very large eBay boxes that generally do me well. In fact, let me see. To the largest number of items going out, there's one buyer who purchased 8 items. You know who you are. I know you're on here. And that's probably one that's going to require 2 boxes because even like a smaller sweater, I just don't see me fitting it all into one box. So that one will need 2 boxes, but thankfully I have these, I have a really good size box. So I have these boxes that I normally get from eBay that measure like 16 by 12 by 8. And those are a pretty decent size when you have super large packaging. But I think in this case, I'm still going to need 2. So, all right. That's the first package. Let's see. But I also do have giant poly mailer bags that I got for shipping like large blankets. I had an Afghan show for Whatnot 8 million years ago. It didn't go very well, which I was surprised, but Afghans are heavy and that's difficult. And I don't know if I kept shipping, and like, I just don't, it was like one of my very early shows, but I think I got the poly mailers for that. And so I also do have those to ship stuff out in today if I need to. So that's good. All right, next up, new to me buyer purchased one item, and it's this really pretty little sequin sweater. So this is like a little flower basket. There is no tag in this because the tag was taken out. And actually, I'm going to probably like hustle a little bit on showing you these things, just because I want to make sure that I'm not stressed out printing all my shipping labels. What happens is I always bag these up with you. And then once I end the video, I do my shipping. But I do all my shipping one at a time. I just make sure that the package weights are correct. And also, if I printed out all the labels and then tried to match them to the packaging, y'all would be getting the wrong shit all the fucking time. So I literally print them one at a time. And there's times when it's like, my post office is literally like a 3-minute walk from my house, but I like to, I like to leave at least 10 minutes before she closes, especially when I have a giant bunch of heavy things that I have to carry up there. So there's times where I'm like trying to print these labels out, and I'm hustling. And for some reason, my computer gets very annoyed with Whatnot labels. I don't know what it is. It's something specifically about Whatnot. And the printer just really delays a lot. So that's challenging sometimes. What bag do I want to stick this in? This is the only one. Okay. I think this will fit in here. All right, let's see. Let's get you in here, my friend. The sweater show was so much fun. People were really engaged. I loved all the sweaters that I was doing, which is another nice part of doing a curated show, is because, I mean, I always love all the stuff I pick up in general, but the curated show is really a lot of fun. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased this cute little skirt. I thought I had more skirts in the show, but I didn't have that many, and the few that I did have were all pretty small. One of them, I had a skirt set aside. Rizzo does not like the lint roller at all. So I'm trying to lint roll and she's trying to smack it. There was a skirt that I had set aside to put into a show, and then it had giant moth holes in it. So that didn't get put in, obviously. But I think that one was also super tiny. I thought I had more like bottoms and stuff, but I guess I didn't. So is this the only, this is the only item that this buyer purchased. Did I fold this? Not really. Okay, I think I'm all right. Okay. There we go. Boop. All right, next. We're going to do that and make you small. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item. Yes, and it was, is it this one? Yes. Yes. No. Sorry. I'm losing my brain. Losing my brain. This one. Same color. Little poncho. So cute. Look at the tag on this. Adorable. It says handmade. Handmade by Violet Rogers. Violet did a lovely job. You like how I tell you that I'm going to hustle, and then I'm like, doo-doo-doo. I got to hustle. I don't want to stress Esther out at the post office. Okay. Rizzo left me so I can lint roll to my little heart's delight. I was thinking when I set up to do this video, I was like, oh, I don't think I'll really need to lint roll a whole lot, but let me have it handy in case. And then, of course, here I am. Here's the thing, though, that when Rizzo was helping out, I have to lint roll things. So Okay, let's see. Sorry. The other thing with setting up a Whatnot show in advance is I don't like to load things up too far in advance, right? I do one show a week, and I think that loading things up like a week in advance would be ideal, right? If I could have a show prepped a week before I actually run it, I think that's a good amount of time. I think much longer than that, and maybe people like lose some hype for it, because if I have a show, let's say I load up a show, 50 items, whatever, right? 100 items, whatever it is. And then every single week in my normal show, I'm like, hey, you guys should go bookmark this show because it's going to be really fun. But they're seeing all this stuff in there. Then by the time the show comes around, they're going to be like, yeah, we saw it all already. You know what I mean? Like they're going to lose the enthusiasm maybe. I mean, some stuff I'm sure they'll maintain enthusiasm for, but I just worry that it'll kind of be like, oh, that stuff, we've seen it 17 times already, you know? So I don't want to load things up too far in advance. Which is funny because like I'm going to load things up too far in advance. Have we all met me? I'm lucky I get it done like the night before. Okay. So let's see. The next one is a new to me buyer who purchased one item. I love this dress. Look at how cute this is. Little 80s adorable situation. This was a Plaza South dress. There's that tag. Really, really, really cute. I love it. I love it. This also needs some lint rolling. So Rizzo, please stay where you are. Let's see. This was so cute. I had this in Whatnot shows like last winter as well. But she found her home today, so that's nice. Let's see, lint roll. Okay. So I know I said in a video, but I've got like one video that I'm publishing out of my normal order. So maybe you haven't seen it yet. I got invited to do another Whatnot raid train, which I feel insane for saying yes to because I get so stressed out with these curated shows. Even though I really enjoy them, it's just a lot of work for me. But it is a seller that I really like. Her name is Velvet Vault Vintage on Whatnot. She's on Instagram as well. And she invited me to do this raid train. And it's like a witchy theme. So obviously I was like, yes, please. I want to do that. That'll be so much fun. And it was enough advance notice that I feel comfortable saying yes to it. And I don't know if it's for sure happening, but I figure whether it's for sure happening or not, I'm just scheduling a show for that day. I'll change the time if the raid train is in fact happening. I mean, I don't have a reason to think it won't, but just, I don't know. I don't know if she was feeling things out or if there's like a very definite, but yeah. And so I'm very excited about that. I have a couple of pieces that are like already, where did my thing go? Sorry, did I put that in here? I've got a loose thread and I need my scissors, but I don't know where they went. They're not there. Oh, I love these scissors and I lose them all the flipping time. Well, here's different scissors, so these will get the job done. Anyway, so let's see. The Witchy Show. I think it'll be super fun. And I get stressed out by trying to plan these themes because I don't have the room to do it, I know I've told you all this 8 million times. I have a clothing rack that's set up all the time. It's the same size as this. And that's where the Whatnot stuff lives between shows. And of course, sometimes like some of it sells, but like right now, especially because it's all sweaters, that rack is packed full. And I'm going to have to swap some stuff out for the next show. So like, I don't have any place to set stuff up between shows to plan, so like it's just a lot. But I'm gonna have so much fun, and I already started pulling some stuff. There's a couple things that I've had in previous shows that I think will do really well. I have like a black velvet like bodycon 90s dress. It'll be so cute, with like the corset tie in the back. Adorable. I found a couple of really good things in my most recent thrift haul that are going to be great pieces. And I mean, witchy, like I always think like black Stevie Nicks stuff, but like even what I'm wearing right now, like this is like very white witch kind of stuff to me. Like I would totally put something like this in, except I'm not, because I'm keeping this. It's not going anywhere. But, you know, this kind of stuff I would also put in there. So I'm really excited. Ooh, I have some slips that I got from my last estate sale haul. The estate sale that had all the plus size stuff, but there were like 2 or 3 older like slips from like the 40s, which were extra small, but they're so pretty. And then there was a couple larger slips, although they're more modern, not modern, but like 80s, you know. This was the only one this had, yes. I'm so rambly right now. It's probably from the 74 million milligrams of caffeine I've had. I had 2 cups of coffee at breakfast. And by breakfast, I mean the coffee that I drink in the morning before breakfast. 2 cups of coffee. And then during the show, I had one of my little energy drinks that I need to fucking back off of because I have a problem there. And then for lunch, I had a protein smoothie, but I make it with coffee. So there's just a lot happening. Next up is a repeat buyer for me who purchased 1 item. What the heck is that? That's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Okay, who purchased 1 item. All right. And that is, oh, cool. Yes. So is it 85? 85. Yes. The Rapture sweater. So I haven't spoken about these in a while. I spoke about them in the Whatnot show, but last winter, I found a ton of these sweaters that seem to have been made by like I keep saying they're handmade. I think that somebody had like a loom, like a small loom that you could fit into your house. So, because everything is like very consistent with the pattern, but they have a very handmade vibe to them. So anyway, I found a ton of these sweaters and I had like 4 or 5 of these with this sort of pattern on them. And then also like, where are they? I know I sold more. No. Like this came from the same batch. I thought one of the Argyle ones. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This, like there were a bunch of them, but, and they're all really pretty. They're so nice. But these were of course my favorite because they're kitschy. And when I was showing them during my Whatnot show last year in the winter, we were going over everything, but I was laughing at this lady because like they look very much like, you know, Oregon Trail graphics, like 80s video game graphics or whatever. But I was like, but what's happening with her? Like what's going on? And somebody said she looks like she's being raptured, which I thought was funny. And so we kept talking about the Rapture sweater. Anyway, I think I only had 1 sweater in that show at the time. I had saved the rest because I was playing the sweater show. And anyway, so today I think we sold 3 of the Rapture sweaters. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I do have a 4th one, but it had some staining, not staining. It had some like gunk on it and I had to hand wash it. And it's been like at least 36 hours and the stupid thing is not dry yet. So that didn't make it into the show. But the Rapture sweater. So I keep telling everybody that they're in a very exclusive club. And I'm not even in the club because unless I decide to keep the one that isn't drying, which I probably won't because it's yellow and I don't get along very well. But anyway, I think this is so fun. So, and the only reason that I didn't call it the Rapture sweater in the title for Whatnot, the Whatnot listings, was because there literally was supposed to be another Rapture on Tuesday. And of course it didn't happen. So I don't know if I have any like Rapture people who follow me. So I don't want to be offensive. You know what I mean? But I think even if you were going to get raptured, I think you'll agree that she looks like she's being raptured. And I think it's funny. And I feel like you probably would too. Rapture me. Sorry, that's inappropriate. Anyway. Okay, thank you. We're going to get that shipped out. Let's see. The Rapture sweater. Okay, next I have a new to me buyer who purchased 3 items. And one of them is another Rapture sweater. Love it. Here it is. This is a Raptured brunette. But all of these little graphics are so freaking cute. I love this so much. I keep forgetting to tell you guys what everything sold for. So actually that purple Rapture sweater sold for $27. I would have started it at $15. Let's see, we won't go all the way back again. So this one sold for $15. Whoops. Come out, please. They're all so good. So much fun. And I'm excited for like my next week's Whatnot show now because I'll transfer a bunch of the sweaters over. And then I have some of my, like, I'm just going to feel like next week's show is a lot more refreshed compared to some of my other shows where I was starting to feel like things were pretty stale. So the second item of the 3 that this next buyer purchased was this sweater, which came from the same, I mean, I got them all at a thrift store, but they were just all in one batch. I bought so many sweaters that day. And I'll have to see if I can find that video so that I can link it to this so that you guys can watch it if you want. Anyway, probably made on like a house loom or whatever. It's really cute. It's got more little buttons on the shoulder there. So cute. This sold for $23. I started the bidding at $15 on this. So, but yeah, I'm really excited because I'm just going to feel like I have a nice, good, fresh amount of inventory for Whatnot shows for a little while. Today's sweater show, I had 90 items in the show, and I have about 11 sweaters that didn't make it, partially because the 3 that I had to hand wash and that are not fucking dry yet, but also there's just some I just didn't get in there. The third item this buyer purchased was again from this same sort of like lot of loomed sweaters. It's this Argyle. It's so freaking cute. I love it. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So, all right. And yeah, so I won't carry all of these sweaters into the next show. And some of these, not these things, these are all things that sold, but some of the things that were in the show have been in previous Whatnot shows, but it's been many months because I took them all out for summer. So they do feel fresh for a lot of people. And if you're anything like me and you were watching my shows in the winter and spring, they might also feel fresh to you because I have a brain of a goldfish and maybe you do too. And then it'll all be new to you. You'll be like, oh, look at that. You're like, oh, the sweater you saw 17 times in the winter? Yeah, it's back. You're going to be like, looks new to me. Anyway, let's see. And I have like a good haul of brandy new stuff. Like I think right now I probably have everything I need to fully load next week's show, which is fantastic because that'd be like getting ahead of the game a little bit, which would make me so happy. All right, next up, new to me buyer, purchased 3 items. First up is 71. This one, which had been in a bunch of shows last winter and is sold today. This sold for $15. I just love all this blinginess. It's very cool. Let's see. Do I have 2? Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought I had 2 people with a similar username. This particular username sounds to me like maybe the user is in Hawaii, but I don't know for sure. And there was 2, I'm like, do I have 2 different people with this similar name? It's the same person. They just split. They didn't split. Whatnot split the package up into 2 different boxes, which is fine. When I go to actually ship everything, I will sort it by user. Sometimes I can bundle things together. I don't think it'll end up saving me any money on Whatnot, but we'll see. So I had said that there was one person who purchased 8 items, and that was the highest number. There may be other multi-item things because this person, there's 3 items in this package, but they had another package that had 2 items, so that's 5. So yeah, and then there's that one. Yeah, somebody else they split up who has 5 total. So, you know, but I do still think that my 8-item person is still the highest number in the show, which you watch. Thank you. All right, let's see. So there's this that sold for $15, the Southwestern thing. The second item this buyer purchased was this. This sweater is friggin' heavy. So yeah, I probably won't be able to combine this person, especially if they're in Hawaii. I'm going to get 2 boxes, but this is this amazing chunky hand knit cardigan, as you can see, and hand knit there. And then it's got this. This is really cool. This was in a semi-recent haul. And this sold for $21. I started the bidding at, I believe I started it at $15 on that. It's possible I started at 20, but I don't know. I think I started at 15. Either way, it sold for 21. So there's that. Let's see, you got a little fuzziness. By the way, I haven't used it yet. I have it sitting here in case I need it, but there's this great thing. This is called a sweater stone. And I bought this originally on Amazon. I got it a while ago. I have another one, but it's like it's like soap where the more you use it, it kind of like shrinks down over time, So the other one is really small, but I pulled this one out so I could show you. Sweater stone. It's kind of like a pumice stone, but it's softer. And you can use this to brush fuzz away off of sweaters. I really like it. I know that there's all those sweater shavers that are like, shavers, right? So it's like a mechanized blade system underneath a faceplate. But sometimes, like for sweaters like this, which are really textured, that might not work super well. Oh my God, this is hard to fold because it's so fat. So I really like that sweater stone for that. Or also sometimes if something's really delicate and you want to be like gentle with it, I feel like the sweater stone works really well. For the most part, I really almost never wish I had one of those shaver things. I love having the sweater stone. So, all right, the third item that this buyer purchased that's in this box is, let's see, number 17. Here we go. Is this sort of rose print sweater. It's really cute. Roses. Andrea Gale is the tag. And this sold for 17. I started the bidding at 15 on this one. So. Very adorable. This all folded up, and these are going to be a little challenging to get. Oh, that didn't fold nice, but it's okay. Let's see what we can do with this bag. Get out the big fat bag. This green sweater is so huge. Let's see. Let's see how we can make this green sweater. This is one of the things I don't like when I can't at least get everything in the same bag. I'll be able to get it all in the same bag. I think it's just going to look terrible. Let's see. Can I get you on the back side? Sort of. I just like to keep them in the same bag because then I don't, again, when I go through these orders for shipping, like I know what everything is. I know I'm not missing something. If these end up in two separate bags, I'm always afraid that I'll get it all boxed up and then like have one thing left over at the end of all the shipping and go, oh my God, what does this go to? And then I have to hunt, So this looks pretty terrible, but they're all together. Hold on, that's the other thing, these Ziploc type bags. I feel like sometimes like it seems excessive, but also it's really nice when you have a super full bag and you can kind of push the air out and then close it with the Ziploc. They work really nicely. Okay, next. So there we go. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 4 items, although really it was 5 because we already did one of hers. So number 1, we've got this little gold sweater, which I love. In a perfect world, I would restitch this because it's like hanging on by a thread, but I don't have time to do that. And yeah, so I would like to, a lot of people don't necessarily have needle and thread. Maybe I'll hold it off and see if I can, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it is the problem. I'm buttoning this so that everything is like nice and neat. Rizzo has now decided to lay on my table. At least I don't have too many dresses today. So Rizzo being in the way is less of an issue. I am so tempted to just grab a needle and thread and sew that super quick while I'm filming this, which I know would be torture for you. Maybe not torture, but like, let's see, there. This is my poor little, like, look at that. It's a mess. It's a mess. You're like, Laura, are you really going to do this? I'm sorry, I am. I'm doing it. That's perfect. Also, you'll see how easy it is. It takes 3 seconds. 3 seconds that you're like going to fast forward through, which I would if I were you. Unless you're doing something else while you're watching this, which also I would be doing if I were you. Clip off the tail. I'm just going to tack one corner. I'm not going to go nuts. But I get so excited about tags. And I don't like to lose the vintage tags on my clothing. Not just because as a reseller, I find them so valuable, like they give you so much information about era and all that stuff, but also just because they're cute. So I like to make sure that I help other people if they're excited about the tags. All right, cool. Yeah. One more little knot to keep it secure. There we go. That wasn't too terrible, was it? And now her tag won't fall off. Soon. So maybe it'll still fall. It's still not the most secure ever, but it's more secure than it was. All right, so let's get this folded up. Fold it up. One. Okay. Then the second item that this buyer purchased is this sweater that I tried to send to somebody else a minute ago. I don't know if I told you, this sold for $20. That's what I started the bidding at. I think because I paid a little bit more for that. I think that was like $8 or $9 that I paid. This is just a solid blue sweater. Very cute. This sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. Rizzo's in the way now, so I'm going to try and fold this here without hitting the mic so that you guys don't have to hear that ridiculousness. Okay. And then the third item that this, I'm sorry, there's 4. Okay, we're going to have more. Yeah, these are not going to want to fit in bags. This is going to be a, it's going to be a challenging shipping day for me a little bit. I'm just going to have to be careful when I try and do this. Because like these, she's got 4 items, but like I think these 2 alone are going to take up a big bag mostly. And even if there was still room, she's got 2 others, one of which is, let's see what happens. This is where we are right now. So I've got room for at least 1 more. I don't know if we'll be able to get her done. Can I squish these the opposite way? Hold on. Oh, kind of. Yeah, maybe we can do this. Okay. So I got them kind of squished in sideways, right? So maybe we can get the other 2 done the same way. Let's see. All right. This sweater, very cool. Eagle eye. And it's a Christmas sweater, obviously like a little novelty Christmas sweater. This sold for $15. Very cute. There. Rizzo, ma'am, you are in the middle of everything. It's very inconvenient. She doesn't care. She does not care. Here, you can hold on to these down in that end. How's that sound? All right, let's get these little teddies folded up. I would love to fold these up in a super cute way so that the teddy bears are like kind of featured in the front, but I don't have time to play with it today. Also, I buttoned it crooked. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Did I? What did I do? Yes. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Okay, there we go. That's better. And then the 4th item that this buyer purchased in this package was this super fun little colorful sweater. There's no tags in this. And that sold for $15. Man, I have my AC running right now, but I also had a fan running during the show because the AC doesn't always quite do it for me. And before I started filming this video, I still had the fan running, but I was kind of feeling chilly. I was like, all right, I guess I'll turn the fan off. And I was doing pretty well for a while, but now I'm dying. So, which is too bad for me because I still have a lot of sweaters to do here. All right, I don't know that we're going to be able to squash these into that bag also. I'm going to try. We're going to give it a try. It's not going to happen. Maybe it will, but I don't know if I'll be able to close the bag. Ooh, girl, no. Eagle Eye's going to go in its own bag. That's all that's going to happen. I'm going to have to just be paying attention because it's not going to go well. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, man, I just dropped a whole stack of poly mailers on the floor. They're just slippery and they slid right out. Very annoying. Okay. All right. Eagle Eye. Okay. Next up. Okay. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 3 items from me. Rizzo's definitely going to be in the way for all 3 of these. Let's see. So first up, E6. Oh, Lord. First up is this sweater, which is amazing. It's this long sweater coat. Rizzo's absolutely in the way. 230. I'm going to hold these off until after I'm done with y'all so that I can move Rizzo. Anyway, but this is really cute. I love this. It's very heavy. That's the tag. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And that sold for $15. The second item this buyer purchased was this yellow cardigan. It's like a nice little 70s double-breasted. There's that tag, which is adorable. And this also sold for $15. Little belt in the back. And then the third item that this buyer purchased, is it this one? 77, is this sweater dress, which I love. Look at this thing, man. Green and black, giant roses, love it. And then there's the tag for that one. And that sold for $15 as well. And well, the sweater dress and then this car coat thing, they're just too long and Rizzo's in the way and I don't want to fight with her right now. So I'll save that. All right, let's see. Next up. Oh, somebody had a fun username, but I couldn't figure it out while I was in the show and I just saw it and it's cute. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased 1 item. It was this sweater. This probably was made as a men's sweater, but we don't care. It's very cool. Here's the tag, Thornton Bay. And it's like cotton or cotton ramie. Very cool. And this sold for $17. I started it at $15, but it sold for $17. So that's very good. Rizbiz, you're seriously like creeping more and more to be as in my way as possible. And then you're going to get mad at me for folding sweaters on top of you. But listen, I don't, like you're taking up the whole table. There's no winning with it. Like if I move her, she'll be mad. If I fold sweaters on top of her, she'll be mad. So I got to pick these poly mailers back up. Since they all slid out onto the floor. Stay back in your home, please. There we go. Okay. This one needs a little medium-sized bag. This big fat sweater. Awesome. All right, 234. I'm still okay. I feel like if I get all of this bagged up by 3 o'clock, then I'm okay. It'll still be like sort of a squishy timeline, but I think I'll be all right. All right, next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 4 items from me, or at least 4 that are in this package, but I think that's all. All right, first up, I love this sweater so freaking much. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And then it's got all these like little nubby guys on it. It's like textured. It's so cool. Here's the tag. It feels like cotton or cotton ramie. It's really cool. And this sold for $15. There we go. All right, Riz. Rizzo is once again in the way. What are you doing there? Okay. Yeah. Got a little fuzzies going on here. Mm-hmm. Come off, please. Here. All right. Okay, fold that up all nice, pretty. Number 2 on this package. I love this one. Where'd you go? Absolutely adorable little cat sweater. Look at that. I was telling everybody these look like little Rizzos because I know those are whiskers, but it looks like when they're yelling in a cartoon. It's like, Mark! That's Rizzo yelling at me. Stop fucking touching her. I give Rizzo a really bad reputation, but she is, because partially she deserves it, but also she is sweet sometimes. Not all the time. She's got a lot of indifference, which is fine. She does have times where she's very sweet, and then she has times where she's biting me. But we love her. So cute. Okay. Third item that this buyer purchased, so freaking good. This vintage Gitano sweater. Look at this. This colors are so freaking awesome. And then there's the tag, Gitano. And this sold for $15. Whoop. Business. What do you think, ma'am? Do you need to get some hair on this also? Oh, no. Come here, please. Cannot lose you. All right, Riz. Hold, please. I folded it. I laid the sweater out, and she's like, ugh. God. All right. I got to move these because she's in the way. Okay. Let's see business. Oh, she's getting up. She's getting up. I'll try that. Okay. Hi. Can I? May I? Thank you. Oh my God. Rizzo, you're all over that sweater. Okay. And then the fourth item, same buyer still. No, that's that. Oh, this one is so good. Look at this. So the back is just plain black. Look at this one though. Oh, it's so good. I think there's no tag. Yeah, tag was cut out. Awesome. And this sold for $23. I started it at $15. So this I got at a store in Brooklyn called L Train Vintage, which I went to. I got a bunch of sweaters at L Train when I went, and I held them all off. Hi, ma'am. I need you to not do that, please. Can you please just give me a fucking minute? She wants to smack me. Now she's biting instead. Can you please? I know. She got caught on your sweater. Sorry. But that's what you get, ma'am. Stop trying to bite me, please. All right. It's like an ancient Mayan god that I am trying not to anger every time I'm pulling things. And sometimes a blood sacrifice must be made. Right, Biz? Okay. Let's see. All right, and that, I think I told you, these ladies sold for $23. Started the bidding at $15. And then, okay, I was going to say I just have 2 packages after that, but one of them is the package of 8 items, so I'm still going to be here a little while. I don't know if I can get these all in one bag, which is probably good, because if I know I have to pay attention to every package, then I'm less likely to mess it up. If it was only one package that was separated out, then I'd probably screw it up. So, all right, Rizzo, stop looking at me like that, please. So I'm just not going to fight with these. They're going to get 2 different packages. Not, you know what I mean. Whatever. You get it. Sure, they'll be in the same box, just not in the same bag. Right, Biz? There. And then Here, please. Okay. I know. Stop. She's so... She's like ready to fight. I feel like maybe I could have done a little bit of a better job, but there's so much room in this bag, but whatever. It's fine. I'm overthinking this. I also had a bag to collect all the sweaters as I was packaging them, and it's full now, and it's a little overflowy. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first because, oh, you don't do that, please. This is a repeat buyer who purchased one item from me. So we're going to do that. I think you're all there. So this dress, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This dress, color block, very cute. And this sold for $19. I had it listed starting at $15. It sold for $19, and there is the tag. So get this folded up if Rizzo will allow it. Right, Riz, will you please permit me to fold? No, okay, I don't really trust what's happening, so I'm going to do it like this. I feel like you're ready to bite me, and I definitely don't want to use the lint roller right now. I know, Biz. You're ready to go, aren't you? She's like, do not make me kick your ass. Okay. I know. I'm sorry. She's smacking the lint roller again. Sorry, ma'am. I'm just trying to get your hair off of people's clothes. Go. Sorry I'm quiet while this is happening. Not very entertaining, but I did not do a bad job of folding despite having to work around her Royal Highness over here. Get this folded up right here. Okay. All right, here. That was maybe too loud for you. I'm sorry. That was rude. Didn't mean that. All right, before I package up this last bag, we're going to take a little sip of water here. Not really the last, because I also have to do this one too, but you know what I mean. Now, Riz. Okay, thank you. Goodness. All right. Let's see. Rizzo's very wound up, so I'm going to take a mini timeout here. I'm going to pause this. We'll come back, and hopefully it'll be a little bit smoother sailing at that point. All right, small brown cat is out of the way, and I can peacefully go back to folding some clothes. I also took care of those 3 items that I had put aside. Not that you were anxiously keeping track of that. So this is the final package that I am wrapping up. There's a total of 8 items in it. And first is this purple Argyle sweater, also came from the Rapture sweater collection. And this is just a really cute little purple Argyle. It's adorable. I love it. It sold for $15. So much fun. Let's see. So as I'm filming this now, it is 3:06. So it took me a little while to get all this back together. After folding those things, I'm a little delayed. So I'm fingers crossed I'm going to make it. Here's the thing. I'm going to make it to the post office regardless. The post office, it's a 3-minute walk from me as I sit here wasting time talking and not folding. 3-minute walk from me. That closes at 4. It's my favorite post office. I love Esther. She's a fucking angel. She works her ass off. I love her. There's a second post office that's like a 5-minute drive. That's open until 5. So that's probably where I will end up going if I can't hustle my ass up to Esther. Worst case scenario, which I have almost never done. I've done it like 2 times ever. There's another one that's like a 20-minute drive that's open until 7 p.m. So I can do that, but I don't like to. So we're going to hope to make it to Esther. Second item that this buyer purchased. Little poncho cape type of situation. It's so cute. It's handmade. This sold for $10. And I got to fold it in some sort of way so that it looks semi-presentable. We're going to do that. I hope I make it to Esther. I just like making it to Esther. I mean, Esther's nice. Like, she's nice to deal with. She always scans stuff. I mean, when I do Whatnot Days, I just bring her a scan form. I don't make her scan things individually because, you know, that's rude. And we very rarely have problems. You know, the only benefit to having her scan things individually is that everything is like officially scanned in. When you use a scan form, it's kind of like it sends the buyer a notification, like, you know, it makes it look like it's tracking. But until the individual package gets scanned somewhere along the line, like the post office doesn't really consider themselves as having received it. That scan form is just kind of like a placeholder, you know? Because theoretically, I could have 16 items on the scan form and only bring 13 of them to the post office, and they're not going to know until the individual things scan. So, but I almost never have issues. The next item that sold is this adorable cardigan, which I love. It's got like a little Angora stuff going on here. So cute, handmade. This also sold for $15. Like the most recent time that I can remember having an issue with a package not scanning was a Whatnot buyer. And thankfully, a very regular one who, who knows me and has bought from me before. And so I have a good reputation with her. But she lives in California and I live in New Jersey. And the package didn't scan at all until it got to California. And that was a rough week because there was something like at least semi-expensive in there, So I was sweating it a little bit. But I knew she'd be cool and give me some time and stuff. But thankfully, it ended up scanning. So next item that this buyer purchased, another Rapture sweater. This one's in black. I love this one. So cute. The Rapture lady. Adorable, 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 adorable. And this one sold for $15. I think this one and the purple one are my two favorites. But I really like the brown one also. So basically, that means all of them... that the yellow is my least favorite. And of course, that's the one I still have because that's the one that's still wet. Probably as I speak, still wet. So anyway. Okay. Sorry, I love her. All right, the next item that this buyer purchased. This sweater, which when I listed it, I was just like, yeah, it's just a mess of cool colors. But it's like a bird design on it, which I totally didn't pick up until I was standing far away looking in the camera viewfinder. When I was like up close, I was just like, I don't know what that is. But yeah, so you can see it's like a bird. It's very cool. This was Lily Florence. Very cute. And this sold for $15 as well. The other thing with this show that was really nice, I had about 35 or 37 items loaded up pretty far in advance, like 4 or 5 days, I think. Sorry, I'm sniffling. And then I got the rest of the stuff done. Like yesterday, I didn't do any work on the show yesterday. So everything was done by Tuesday for the Thursday show. So there was a lot of stuff loaded up in advance. So when I started the show today, I had 8 pre-bids, which is really fantastic. So that was a nice little benefit. But also, again, it's me. Do we think I'm going to be regularly able to get stuff done that far in advance? Probably not. What I would like to do is maybe today, maybe tomorrow, work on, that's not going to fit in there, I don't think. Work on getting existing items transferred over. So things from the sweater show today and from my Whatnot show last week that I want to transfer into next week's show. If I can get those done now, then that'll help. That'll be nice. It'll be sort of done in advance. And then I just have to add in the new items. And so that's like ideally the right way to kind of handle things for myself. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm sniffling and it's so annoying, but we're almost done. Okay, next is this sweater, which I freaking love. I think this also came from I bought this at the same time as all the Rapture sweaters. I think it was the same maker. This is the only one I found that was like this, which I love. The puff sleeves. I love that little flower print. It was so freaking pretty. And this one sold for $20, which is what I started it at. I was a little surprised that it didn't get bid up, but I think it's just because it was like a personal favorite of mine that I was like, why wouldn't everybody bid on this? You know, but it's so freaking cute. I would have kept it, but it's a little too big on me. So it looked silly, but it's so adorable. All right, let's see. Next up, two more. This one, this is also seems to be a handmade sweater. It's so pretty. There's no tags in this. So also kind of a light little puffed sleeve. It's got all these little like embroidered flowers. I know the light is too intense this close up, but really cute. Like that's what it looks like on the inside. So adorable. I love it. And this sold for $18. I started it at $15, but it got bid up to $18. So that was nice. Let's see. Let's get this buttoned. There you are. And then get it all folded pretty. I'm like pre-stressing about getting all these shipments done for Esther. I don't want to go to Secaucus, which is the other post office. And then the final item that sold for this buyer is this sweater, which I think is so cool. It's like a very big, chunky, boxy sweater. Look at that. It's so neat. It's like very kind of lagging look. It's very coastal. Really like farmhousey. Like, I love it. Like you figure somebody on like a horse ranch. I don't know if there's different kinds of ranches, but you know, like going out in the winter or fall wearing this thing. So freaking cool. Anyway, and that sold for $15. So amazing. And that's everything. It was such a good show. I'm so glad that so much stuff is leaving. I would be very excited if more stuff was leaving, but it's still fantastic. So I feel like I've just been like living and breathing Whatnot for freaking weeks. And I don't feel like that's necessarily going to end anytime soon. But yeah, it's been really fun. I'm looking so much forward to the Witchy show. That'll be really fun. And I feel like, since I'm still packaging, I've been very, very bad with like Etsy, eBay listing. But I think what I need to do, part of the problem is the decision making, right? Like when I think about listing to Etsy and eBay, there's always this like, oh, what do I want to list? And I got to photograph it. And like, there's too much planning, right? In my head. I think I just need to start just putting together like 5 items at a time. It's like, okay, today I'm just going to work on these 5 items for Etsy and that's it, right? And I think that'll help me. But also I always come up with plans that I'm like, I think this will really help. And then it's like 3 days and it helps. And then I forget about it or it just stops working. I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, this one. Okay, so I'm going to go print my shipping labels. You're going to hang tight because in a second I'm going to show you the other stuff that I sold on the rest of the platforms. Hang tight. Interrupting to let you know that number 1, I did not make it to Esther on time. So sad, I'm going to have to go to Secaucus. But number 2, what was I afraid of? I knew that if I couldn't get all these things in bags together that I was going to fuck it up. And what did I do? Fuck it up. So I'm going to have to, I don't know. I got to go see if I can like cancel the one label and then redo it. Or if I have to get a second label for this, whatever. I'm so mad at myself. I'm so mad. I was all done with the labels. I'm like, why do I still have one thing left? Anyway. All right. I did not have to adjust the weight, thankfully. So I just had to reprint a label and repackage it. I got off really easy on that one. But lesson learned. Which is not really a lesson learned because I already knew it. I told you it was going to happen, and it did. I got lucky. Okay, so let's take a look at what I sold everywhere else. It was not a bad week, but at this point, I'm seriously just surviving on Whatnot and nylon stockings. So I'll take it, pays the bills. But starting off with Etsy, I sold this vintage Jerseys crew neck sweatshirt. I've actually had this for quite a while. I think I still have another one or maybe a whole Jerseys sweatsuit or something. Just a solid green sweatshirt. So no big deal. It was listed for $34. The buyer did not use any kind of coupon. It's on Etsy, so I include shipping. I pay for shipping. Shipping was, what is it, Laura? $5.19. So I made $28.81 on this sweatshirt. Next, Etsy. So next up on Etsy is this pair of pants. It's like printed rayon pants. They're really cute, purple and black. Let's see. They were listed for $39. The buyer used a 20% off coupon, so they came down to $31.20. I paid shipping of $4.89, so I made $26.31 on these pants. Next up, also on Etsy, is this little hairnet. So I had 3 of these. I had them for so long. I know I got them at an estate sale. I've been shuffling them around for ages, and I finally got them listed. I listed this one for $29, as you can see. And the buyer did not use any kind of coupon. The shipping on this was $4.16. So I made $24.84. And just based on the username, it looks like it's going to a production company. This was going to like the hairdresser department, essentially, of something. It's just, I sometimes I find like interesting names or addresses, and I just get curious. And so I look it up, and I don't want to say who it is. I don't know what kind of show it's for. But I just always think that's fun. I get a kick out of that stuff. So anyway, yeah, it's a really cute little hairnet. Next is this buyer purchased a total of 3 items. They used a 20% off coupon. And of course, I took the shipping and like broke it down between the 3 items that they purchased because they were all shipped together. So the first is this like emerald green velour top, which is really cute. It's got like, you can't really see it here. I feel like it's got the tiniest little like sort of puff sleeve almost. I had it listed for $39, 20% off coupon brought it down to $31.20. The shipping on this, $3.60. And so the total that I made on this top was $27.60. The second item that they purchased was this sort of like patchworky looking top. This was like a 70s polyester. Very cute. Hey, here we go. And I don't know if it has tags. I don't think so. No. I listed it for $39. They used a coupon, 20% off. I paid $3.60 in shipping, so I made $27.60 on this one as well. And then the third item that they purchased was another green velour. This one had like a chevron pattern. It was really cute. Also $39, also used 20% off. Shipping was also $3.60. And so I also made $27.60 on this shirt. And there is the adorable little tag. Okay. And then that is the end of our Etsy sales for the week. Next up comes eBay. I had this Fry sort of messenger bag or briefcase kind of thing. I got this at a big estate sale that I went to a little while back. The one where I don't know. I always tell you guys like, oh, the estate sale where this happened. I don't know if you remember or not, but I got a whole bunch of like plus size 90s kind of clothes, a lot of which I was sort of disappointed with. Like, I don't know why I bought it. It wasn't really that great. Some of it was very great. But I got this bag and then 2 giant leather bags that I've done absolutely nothing with yet. They are still sitting in a corner. But this one I listed for $79. The buyer sent me an offer of $50, which I accepted. It's on eBay, so buyer pays shipping. So I made $50 on this Fry bag. So that's nice. All right, there you go. So cute. My hair looks really good in that picture, unlike right now. Okay. Next up on eBay, nylons. So I had 3 lots of nylons up for auction. I don't know, last week, whenever this was. And they all ended on the Sunday. So this is the first lot. This was 14 pair seamless stockings, all sort of a beigey type of color. Size 10, which is, I think, like a size 8 or 8.5 woman's shoe size. I started these at $4.99 and they got bid up to $83. So that was fantastic. I'm very happy with that. And, you know, just stockings. We've seen a whole bunch of these at this point, and there's still more to be shown at some point in the future. Right. Then next up, more stockings. So this was 13 pair, also seamless, but these were all like weird colors, right? So there's some silvery ones in here. There's some very pretty blue, black, super dark brown, some gray, 13 pair total. And these ended, as you can see, for $130.19. I started these at $4.99 as well. I don't know why I went $4.99. I usually do $9.99, but I kind of recognize at this point that it doesn't matter because they're going to get bid up. So that's fine. And then the third lot, brace yourselves for this one because this was a surprise to me. Third lot, 28 pair, size 10s with the back seam and the Cuban heel. these sold for, as you can see, $305. Buyer paid the shipping. I also started this lot at $4.99, and so I made $305 on this. This was crazy town, but I was very excited about it. And part of the thing that was surprising to me, there was one pair in there that was a short length, but the others were all longer. In the previous lots that I've been doing, I've been feeling like the back seam stockings aren't really getting the love or the attention. So it seems like every time I do another set of auction lots, they end up surprising me. So I'll take it. I mean, I'm thrilled, obviously. Fantastic. All right. And then the final item that I sold for the week was on Depop. Out of nowhere, I made this sale of this skirt. This was a new old stock skirt. I've had it for 122 billion years. I had it up on Whatnot shows for ages, in and out, in and out. It's a really cute little skirt. It's Necessary Objects, which was, I think, an 80s brand. And I thought the skirt was cute. Like, it was very thin rayon. And it's got that kind of tulip shape, whatever. I like the little sort of filigree pattern going on. And then there's the tag. Look how cute that is. That was the hang tag on it. And then there's the other tag. So very adorable. I had it listed for $39. Actually, I said it sold full price. That is a lie. I sent out a 25% offer on this. So it sold for $29.25. I paid shipping of $4.69. So I made $24.50 on this. I forget that I send out offers on Depop because I do it automatically through Vendu. So I forget that it happens. But that's everything that I sold for the week. I was super excited about all of it. And I'm going to work on some more nylons this weekend because they really do make me happy. And right behind me here, I've already set up next week's Whatnot show. I took stuff for my sweater show that you just watched my What Sold On, and then stuff for my previous week's Whatnot show, and pulled out the pieces I wanted to carry forward into the following week. And they're all here. So all I have to do to prep for my show on Thursday is just put up the 30 new items. So I'm a little bit ahead of the game this time. I don't want to get too cocky because we all know what happens when I get excited about being ahead of the game. But for now, I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. Anyway, thank you for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed it or found it informative, or any of the things that I always say when I'm closing out these videos awkwardly. I appreciate you watching so much. If you like the video and you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that helps me out so much. If you're not subscribed already and you would like to subscribe, please do so. And also, I've opened up my community posts tab, my community tab on YouTube, whatever it is. So you can post on there as well. And I figure we can have like a little community of people where we talk about vintage stuff and cat stuff and reselling stuff and whatever. I think it'll be fun. And we can use each other for advice or ranting or whatever it is. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you again soon. Bye.